Councillor Taylor-Smith said, I think we all get a great sense of déjà vu, but we absolutely must not give up. So I would like to thank everyone for the motions and speaking tonight and reconfirming the Council's commitment to keeping the Royal Brompton Hospital in Chelsea. I'm also grateful for Labour's withdrawal of the fourth motion, as this was factually inaccurate. I did attend the Hammersmith and Fulham scrutiny at their suggestion, only to discover the Royal Brompton was not on the agenda. I also attended the North West London JOSH, chaired by Labour, and attended by Councillor Al-Naghi, chair of our Health Select Committee. But again, the Royal Brompton was not discussed at the main meeting, only in the private pre-meeting. The Royal Brompton has agreed to attend a select committee, and so I urge Councillor Al-Naghi to take them up on this offer as soon as possible, as well as arranging a North West London JOSH meeting specifically on this matter. Mr. Mayor, tonight I first need to correct the term in the motions referring to the potential merger of the Royal Brompton with GSTT. It is, in the words of their documents, a statutory acquisition, i.e. an asset stripping takeover, removing our beloved Royal Brompton Hospital from the borough's health and wellbeing hub, which includes the Royal Marsden, the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital, Imperial Trust, Imperial Cancer Institute, etc. A statutory acquisition does not require consultation, and any request to consult so far has been turned down. Whilst the Chelsea Health Hub exceeds the degree of co-location in other parts of the UK, NHSE chose not to continue CHD commissioning at the UK's biggest and best heart and lung hospital. Those patients, including our residents, receiving integrated care from the Royal Brompton, together with the Royal Marsden and or Chel West, will now have to travel to the GSTT site in Lambeth, which is not even part of North West London, rather than going to the local hospitals or clinical staff moving between hospitals to treat the patients. Mr. Mayor, another concerning issue is that as yet there is no committed business case and no equalities impact assessment has been provided, despite NHSE confirming their ceasing of CHD commissioning at the Brompton by 2022. And the GSTT building, although scoped in outline terms, is still not a committed, funded and guaranteed plan. We therefore call on the Royal Brompton trustees, at the very least, to delay any approval of the GSTT statutory acquisition until they are assured their duty as trustees in law to their patients, our residents, the Brompton Hospital and staff, of the guaranteed facilities, funding and governance. With the terminal demise of RBHT, the borough to date has not been offered any governor nomination rights. This is in spite of residents treated in Chelsea having to travel for other parts of their treatment halfway across London, which is in no sense a plausible co-location solution and a good example of pillage of our NHS during a worldwide pandemic. We will work with NHS Hospital and Health Trusts in North West London to ensure the further development of the critical mass of the health hub in Chelsea. The leadership team, councillors and our MPs will continue to lobby the Secretary of State and campaign to keep the Royal Brompton Hospital in Chelsea. And we call on the Royal Brompton and Harefield NHS Trust and NHS England to commit to retaining and enhancing their medical sites in the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea, as agreed in their 2016 planning permission. And again, I would like to acknowledge and thank the important role our hospitals have played in treating some of the sickest patients with COVID-19 during the pandemic. And finally, Mr. Mayor, as the descendant of a doctor who founded a hospital in Cambridge, I take the challenge to keep the very existence of the Royal Brompton, with all its world-class history, in our borough personally. And we must all continue to work together to keep the Royal Brompton where it belongs. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.